Welcome to Prophets of Fable with your host, Janine. Today we are continuing to read the brass plates, the Torah of Moses. We are reading the Torah of the Tabernacle, the Torah of Sacrifice. It is chapter 23 in the fourth Torah. All right, let me share my screen. All right, chapter 23, the soul that sins. And Moses and Zipporah spoke unto the congregation, saying, If a soul should sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether they have seen or known of it, if they do not utter it, then they shall bear their iniquity. Or if a soul toucheth any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from them, they also shall be unclean. Or if they should touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be, that a person shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from them, when they knoweth of it, then they shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, saying with their lips to do evil or to do good, whatsoever it be that someone shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from them, when they knoweth of it, then they shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be that when they shall be guilty in one of these things, that they shall confess that they have sinned in that thing, and they shall bring their trespass offering unto Yahweh for their sin which they have sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an atonement for them concerning their sin. And if they are not able to bring a lamb, then they shall bring for their trespass which they have committed 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons unto Yahweh, one for a sin offering and the other for an offering. And they shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off his head from his neck, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall sprinkle of the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be wrung out at the bottom of the altar. It is a sin offering. And they shall offer the second for a meat offering according to the manner, and the priest shall make an atonement for them for their sin which they have sinned, and it shall be forgiven them. And if they be not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then they that sin shall bring for their offering some fine flour for sin offering, and they shall put no oil upon it, neither shall they put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. Chapter 24, all sin in ignorance. If a soul commit a trespass and sin through ignorance in the holy things of Yahweh, then they shall bring for their trespass unto Yahweh a ram without blemish out of the flocks for a trespass offering, and they shall make amends for the harm that they hath done in the holy thing, and shall add the 5th part thereto, and give it unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for them with the ram of the trespass offering, and it shall be forgiven them. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the mitzvah of Yahweh, though they knew it not, yet are they guilty, and shall bear their iniquity. And they shall bring a ram without blemish out of the flock with thy estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall bring an atonement for them concerning their ignorance, wherein they erred and wist it not, and it shall be forgiven them. It is a sin offering, and all have trespassed against Yahweh. I'm beginning to realize why the prophets of old made offerings for themselves and their children. And I do like the teaching that we sin even when we don't realize it. We don't do it consciously, because we all do that. Even in how we speak to each other, we can offend and not mean to. Chapter 25, the sin offering. If a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yahweh and lie unto their neighbor in that which was delivered them to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived their neighbor, or have found that which was lost and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely and sinned therein, then it shall be, because they have sinned and are guilty, that they shall restore that which they took violently away, or the thing which they have deceitfully forgotten, or that which was delivered them to keep, or the lost thing which they found, or all that about which they hath sworn falsely. They shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add the fifth part more thereto, and give it unto them to whom it appertaineth in the day of their sin offering. And they shall bring their sin offering unto Yahweh, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for them before Yahweh, and it shall be forgiven them for anything of all that they have done in trespassing therein. And if a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest or priestess that is anointed commits a sin according to the sin of the people, then let them bring for their sin which they have sinned a young bullock without blemish unto Yahweh for a sin offering. And they shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahweh, and shall lay their hand upon the head of the bullock, and look unto the face of it, and kill the bullock before Yahweh. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the blood of the bullock, and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood of it, and sprinkle the blood 7 times before Yahweh for the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Yahweh, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take off from it all of the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, burning up the fat that covereth the inward, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the lobe above the liver, with the kidneys, these shall be removed. And the skin of the bullock, with his head, and his inwards, and his dung, even all the parts that cannot be eaten, shall the priest carry forth without the camp into a clean place, where burnt up, and the ashes poured out, and burned him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out, shall he be burnt. And it should be that the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hidden from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty. When the sin which they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the men of the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks before Yahweh, and the bullock shall be killed before Yahweh. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the blood of the bullock to the tabernacle of the congregation, and the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood and sprinkle it 7 times before Yahweh, even before the veil. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar, which is before Yahweh, that is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall take all his fat from him and burn it upon the altar. And the priest shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall they do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And they shall carry forth the parts of the bullock that cannot be eaten without the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. And when a ruler hath sinned and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh, their Elohim, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if their sin wherein they have sinned come to the knowledge, they shall bring their offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish, and they shall lay their hand upon the head of the goat, and look into the eyes of it, and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Yahweh, for it is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And the priest shall burn all his fat upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make an atonement for them as concerning their sin, and it shall be forgiven them. And if any of the common people sin through ignorance, while they doeth somewhat against any of the mitzvot of Yahweh concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if their sin which they have sinned come to their knowledge, then they shall bring their offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for their sin which they have sinned. And they shall lay their hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of a burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And the priest shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And in all these, the sin offering, the remnant of the meat offering, shall be for Aaron and his sons, and for Miriam and her daughters. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. And when these have had their fill, the poor among you shall be fed. And when these have had their fill, given to wants of those among you. For it is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, and Yahweh doth not relish in the bloodshed of his creations. Therefore waste not the blood, that the blood of the sacrifice shall not cry up from the ground unto Yahweh thy Elohim, but that Yahweh receive the sweet savor of thy sacrifice. It is cool that they provide for the poor through their sacrifices. And chapter 26, offerings of the herd. If any one of you bring an offering unto Yahweh, ye shall bring your offering, be it of goats or sheep from the herd or of the flock. And if their offerings be a sacrifice of the herd, let them offer a male without blemish, and they shall offer it of their own voluntarily at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before Yahweh. And they shall put their hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and look into the face of it, and it shall be accepted to make atonement for them. This looking into the face of it is kind of hitting me, that they have to look at the animal that's going to die because of their sin. And it almost seems like they're the ones who have to kill it as well. So the sin becomes a personal thing, that it's very real, that something has given up their life for you. And the bullock shall be killed before Yahweh, and the priest shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood round about the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order by the fire. And the priest shall lay the parts, the head and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the altar, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priest shall roast all on the altar, to be a sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And the beast shall be killed on the side of the altar northward before Yahweh. And the priest shall cut it into his pieces with his head and his fat. And the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. And when any will offer a meat offering unto Yahweh, this offering shall be a fine flour, and they shall pour oil upon it and put frankincense thereon. And the priest shall take there out his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar to be an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And none of the edible meat shall be wasted, but shall be eaten by the priest and the priestesses of the tabernacle. And when these have had their fill, the poor among you shall be fed. And when these have had their fill, give unto the wants of those among you. For this is the thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh, made by fire, and Yahweh doth not relish in the bloodshed of his creation. Therefore waste not, that the blood of the sacrifice shall not cry up from the ground unto Yahweh, but that Yahweh shall receive the sweet savor. Chapter 27, Offering of Fowl. And if the sacrifice for an offering of Yahweh be of fowls, then they shall bring their offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it in the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar, and they shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part of the place of the ashes. And the priest shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon, for it is a meat offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baked in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if any oblation be a meat offering baked in a pan, it shall be of fine unleavened flour mingled with oil. Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto Yahweh. And when it is presented unto the priest, it shall bring it unto the altar. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy Elohim to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be for Aaron and his sons, and for Miriam and her daughters. And it is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. And when these have had their fill, the poor among you shall be fed. And when these have had their fill, give unto the wants of those among you. For this is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh, made by fire, and Yahweh doth not relish in the bloodshed of his creation. Wherefore waste not, that the blood of the sacrifice shall not cry up from the ground unto Yahweh, but that he receive the sweet savor. Chapter 28, the peace offering. And this is the Torah of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which ye shall offer unto Yahweh. If the oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if they offer it of the herd, whether it be a male or female, goat or sheep, they shall offer it without blemish before Yahweh. And they shall lay their hand upon the head of the offering, and look into the face of it, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about, and they shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, burning up the fat that covereth the inwards, and all of the fat that is upon the inwards. and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the lobe above the liver, and the kidneys, these shall be removed. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And if their offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto Yahweh be of the flock, male or female, they shall offer it without blemish. And if they offer a lamb for their offering, to be it a goat or a sheep, they shall offer it freely and of their own will before Yahweh. And if they offer it for a thanksgiving, then they shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mingled with oil of fine flour fried. Besides the cakes, they shall offer for their offering leavened bread with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of their peace offering. And of it they shall offer one out of the whole oblation for an offering unto Yahweh. And it shall be given to the priest that sprinkled the blood of the peace offering. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be for Aaron and his sons, and for Miriam and her daughters. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. And when these have had their fill, the poor among you shall be fed. And when these have had their fill, give unto wants of those among you. And the flesh of the sacrifice of their peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. They shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of their offering be a vow or a voluntary offering, it shall be eaten the same day that they offered their sacrifice, and on the morrow also the remainder of it shall be eaten. For this is a thing most holy of the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, and Yahweh doth not relish in the bloodshed of his creation. Wherefore waste not, that the blood of the sacrifice shall not cry up from the ground unto Yahweh, but that he receive the sweet savor. But if there be none to eat of it, then the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice of the third day shall be burnt with fire. And if any of the flesh sacrifice of their peace offering be eaten at all on the third day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be imputed unto them that offereth it. It shall be an abomination, and the soul that eateth of it shall bear his iniquity. Chapter 29, the bread offering. And the priest shall take fine flour and bake 12 cakes thereof, and thou shalt set them in 2 rows, 6 in a row, upon the pure table before Yahweh. And the priest shall put pure frankincense upon each row, that it may be on the bread for a memorial, even an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. Every Sabbath the priest shall set in order before Yahweh continually, being taken from Israel by an everlasting covenant. And it shall be given to the priests and the priestesses, and they shall eat it in the holy place, for it is a most holy of the offerings made by fire, by a perpetual statute. And it shall be that Israel shall bring pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually. So mote it be. Amen. All right. That is the end of the Torah of the sacrifice. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.